Welcome everyone to episode number 27 here on the Proven Knowledge Podcast. This is the Creator Series. Today's guest hails from Washington, D.C., the DMV area. He's a DJ, a producer. He's worked with Wale. He worked with Mac Miller back in the day. DJ'd for him on his tour a few times. Many other artists. DJ Money is his name. I've been following his work probably for 3 or 4 years now as a producer. But like I said, he is a DJ. He has done many live shows for big artists, opening acts and everything. So, I was happy to get him on today. We've been talking since June, so we had the opening, so I made that happen this week. And, we talked about kind of a little bit more about the music business today, about how it's important to, like we've said before, develop good relationships. So if there's any disputes, you can always, go back on the prior, experiences you've had with that person to work through any tough situations. If there's a contract dispute, if there's something wrong with clearing samples or whatever, all that type of thing. He brought up an interesting point about live shows, about how it might be a few years before we kind of get back to, quote unquote, the norm as far as, fans showing up to a venue, watching a show all together like we're used to. So, and I definitely agree with that. And I think that, people are going to have to wait till the right time for that to happen. It might not happen right away, but it'll be interesting to see what, goes on with that. And then we talked about some of the new music he has coming out very soon. He's got a record with Wale coming out in the next couple weeks. Music with Ade and a bunch of other people that he's worked with, and a bunch of new artists as well, so I'm looking forward to all of that. And this was just another great episode, and without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, welcome everyone. Episode number 27 here on the Proven Knowledge Podcast. This is the Creator Series. Today's guest is out of the DMV area. He's a producer, a DJ. You might recognize his name up against some of your favorite artists, Ade, Wale, the late, great Mac Miller, obviously. DJ Money, how are you, man?
What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm great.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Like I said in the intro, I'm obviously, happy to get you on the show, and it's been a few months, but I'm glad we could finally make this happen. So, to start every episode off, we kind of just have the guests give a little bit of background about themselves, how they got into music, all that good stuff.
You're right. I kind of got into music because my father and my family in general used to listen to a lot of music. I just listened to a lot of soul music growing up. Stevie, a lot of quartets like the Dells, Manhattans, Stylistics, and just it created a palette for powerful kind of like soul music that I love. So then to go from that into my era of being young in the 90s, I picked up just a lot of that, so I just fell in love with all types of music and all facets.
Do you think that kind of inspired you to start DJing a little bit, as far as putting all the different genres together?
Yeah, no, it definitely influenced how I spun, because one of the funny things is, when I was growing up, I literally did not know flow of records. So it was just me playing all the songs that I liked together. And somehow me doing that, I think I just kind of started to pick up this knack of certain sounds that work with certain sounds,
Mm-hmm. I know, because that's I know they always say you should always listen to a lot of music to kind of especially as a DJ, I feel like that would help you a lot, because you're trying to, like you said, sequence things and figure out how an audience is reacting to certain sounds and whatnot. But I even got told before I started producing by someone that was kind of older than me. He said, you should listen to a lot of different music, even if you don't like it, just to know how to blend sounds together and things like that.
Yeah, nah, and it's funny because I did it on accident. I'm not going to act like I planned it or nothing like that, but I just kind of did it on accident, and it just ended up kind of turning into my style a little bit, just from but once I figured out how to put it together and make it a show, that's when it really started to move forward. Mm-hmm. But my father actually was a DJ as well, so that's another reason why I really got a chance to see it. I never took that seriously for me as a career, so I got to I like damn near college. It was like in high school for sure when I started being like, damn, like maybe I'm alright. Like I could kind of spin because it was just my thing to just DJ in the basement. It wasn't nothing that I was trying to do at the time. Like I love music. Like I was writing and producing it. I wasn't really thinking about DJing. Like it's funny, you know.
That's kind of crazy though. It kind of just happened that way for you.
Yeah.
And you ended up just being so good at it that it just kept going. Kind of like
Yeah, no, for sure. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So another question I've kind of been leading it off with is I obviously know 2020 has been, kind of wild for a lot of people, a lot of different ways, obviously. So kind of just give your experiences about it. Has anything been stressing you out this year? What was quarantine like? All that type of thing.
When we got the news that it was going to be shut down, I was actually in London on tour with Corday and Chaz French. So we had to kind of rush back, and I always make the joke that I kind of like got pushed into a vacation because I was like going so hard. But it was one of those things where after a few weeks it felt kind of weird, and then I started to just get on pace of just like doing stuff that I knew I needed to do. Like I try to like turn it into a blessing. Like my mantra been this whole time of quarantine, my mantra's been pivot, don't panic. Like, because I just want to make sure that it's like no matter what is going on, like there's a way to get to what you want to get to, you know? And for me, like that was me going more back into creating and producing more, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's kind of crazy you were overseas, because I know I even heard of some people that got stuck over there once the borders closed and they couldn't get back. So.
Real talk, like the first like flight or two got canceled. Like we started to feel nervous, and then we ended up catching one.
That's crazy, because I remember once it happened, and it would happen pretty quick, and I think by like the first week of April, they were like, yeah, you can't come back if you're like overseas or you're here. So that's kind of like a blessing that we ended up getting back, though.
Super blessing. That's why as soon as we found out, we were trying to get out of there immediately. And
I assume obviously too, like the live shows and all that. I know you haven't been able to do that this year as much, probably as years before and everything. But hopefully that starts opening back up, and we're going to get into that here in a little bit. I got a few more questions about that, but I think it's just unfortunate that people lost some opportunities this year specifically because of that. But I guess we just, we figure out what to do. And like you said, you've been producing more and making music still, so it's still a lot of good out of that. So as far as producing, let's shift to producing for a minute here. How are you beginning a song or an idea for your own music, or maybe if you're producing for an artist? Like, how does that process kind of get going for you?
It varies. I'm not gonna lie. It varies for the artist. Like what I'm feeling, which kind of mode I'm in. Am I in like a really creative mode where I like want to create on the spot? And sometimes it's just about knowing the artist that you're going in there with. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of times I like to just have records ready, unless we like really locking in, whether it be with like me with other producers or just me just by myself. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to records, I think the biggest thing with me with the beginning part of it, of like creating, is to kind of make sure that you give them something that you kind of feel they need. I feel like it stands out more. Like, don't just give them the stuff that like everyone gives them, or the kind of record you think that they should be on. Give them a record that you feel like they need, like a record that doesn't necessarily sound like something that the world would expect, you know? Like, that's my kind of approach.
It's weird because I think I've heard that so many times from like bigger producers, especially. They say like when they make a beat for someone and they're like, oh, I should give this to so and so, then they play it for them, and then they end up not even picking that one. They pick one that they didn't even like enjoy that much, but it ends up being like a huge song because they just vibed with the energy of that song and they didn't try to force anything.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, that's what. And you never know what sounds folks like. You know what I'm saying? You can only just, you know what I'm saying, kind of like assume until you like really tap in with a person. And that takes a long time because you got to remember everyone's palette is always changing. You know what I'm saying? Especially nowadays with so much music being out. You know, like the iPod kids is just one of those things where it's like they really had a chance to like sit and like dissect all music if they want to, any and everything. You know what I'm saying? Hans Zimmerman to Black Star, like like everything.
It's crazy because now it seems like because of streaming, like there are literally songs every single day. You know what I mean? Like it's not like how it used to be where it was like a few weeks or like once a month there'd be a big drop. It's like every day or every Friday.
Every Friday the floodgates open.
Crazy. There's
it's insane.
I even like discovered like through Spotify, like ever since I started using that, like I discover music just out of nowhere that I've never heard, or it came out like a few weeks ago or something, and I'm just like, you could just sit for hours and just find shit because you'll just never run out of music. Like
facts.
It's just
facts.
crazy.
That is crazy, man. That's crazy. But you know, the good thing about that to me is the fact that you can do your homework. You know, like you can really settle in and do your homework. I even now with our artists I'm working with right now, we did a project in June where we did like a live project, and during that process I was giving her albums to listen to front to back. Like, yo, I know you never heard this. Like, listen to this, listen to the flow of this, but listen to it fluidly. Like, listen to it with intent. Like, listen to it and listen to the melody structure, the how the bass lines come in and all that stuff. Like, listen to it with intent. And I feel like stuff like the fact that you can do that now is very different, you know?
I think it's important too to still be like a fan of music while you're still trying to create. Like you said, doing like your homework almost. Like, because I think we should all still be students of, you know, music no matter what. Like, I've heard of a lot of people that they don't really listen to music as much because they do it, you know, for a living and whatnot. But I think it's always important to like go back. And I think like Spotify, Apple Music, with that amount of music, like helps that a lot because you can just get it right off the bat and you don't have to wait.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely can't. I always say, like, if I ever fall out of love with music, I'll stop making music.
Yeah. Because
that's what drives me to make the music is the fact of my love for it. Like, music is the pulse, it's a feeling. Like, always heard the stuff Jazzy Jeff said one time. Imagine, like, music with no, like a movie with no music. Like, that'd be weird as hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? It draws emotion. It does so much. So it's like, I personally feel like if you feel like you don't like love music to listen to it, you should be doing it for real, like, because you're not going to connect with it the same, you know.
Which I agree with that as well, because like I think that sometimes it gets lost as far as like you do it so much as a job, and if you do it for years, especially, it's like, you know, you kind of lose a little bit of that. I feel like you have to like rekindle that every once in a while, like go back and just be a fan. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
But yeah, I totally agree with that. With that perspective as far as that goes. So we've obviously talked in the intro about the artists you've been around and everything. Who do you think so far has been one of your favorite artists to work with? Maybe someone you've worked with for a while or someone you just recently began working with?
I give you both, of course. You know what I'm saying? I'm very close with Wale's project, so of course those are like near and dear to me. He's just a special person in general when it comes to creating. How fast he is at times, how intricate he is, how much emotion he wants to make sure that every song has, and he makes sure he wants you to get something from every line. You know what I'm saying? There's no wasted words with him, and I think that's what makes him very special. And a lot of folks are going to go back to listen to a lot of his music later on and realize, like, man, like, he was giving us a lot of gems early, you know what I'm saying? And I told him sometimes I feel like he is so ahead at times that once folks finally catch up to it, it's old for him, you know? So, you know, that's a difficult line to thread in a society where people want it to be cool when they find out about it, you know, or when the masses does, you know. He's a great person. I love to work with. Trevor Jackson, man, him as a singer, I think that he is such a talent. He has so much passion for music, so much passion for music. August 08, from Rising '88. He's incredible as well. Especially like me and him just coming together with records. Has always been amazing. Yeah, man. Alex Vaughn too. She's a new artist I'm working with. She's like super amazing. Great talent. From Cap Heights, she also plays piano. Just a big voice, amazing tone, amazing pen. Like, yeah, I love work on her. You know what I'm saying?
So is there anyone that you haven't got a chance to work with yet who you're thinking about maybe reaching out to eventually, maybe in the next year or so?
I mean, I would love to work with. You know, it's funny. Me and Westside Gun, I really want to do some stuff with him.
That'd be
I
interesting.
think that'll be incredible. I want to do something for Megs. Meg's the homie, but it's like I want to definitely do some stuff with her. I think it'd be crazy. Who else do I haven't just? Childish Major. I fuck with him.
He's dope.
Yeah, he's dope. So like that whole like camp. Also too, like, and me and him been rapping about trying to figure something out. But Saba, I think Saba's super dope.
It's cool for Childish Major. I remember seeing him, produce for a few people here and there, and now his artist career is finally taking off, like in a big way.
Yeah.
So it's
It's
really good.
He's incredible, man.
And he got to be like a big part of the Dreamville album last year, and like doing his own like solo work. So that's been pretty awesome to see. But yeah, I could definitely see you guys working together. So I hope that happens.
We always, every time we get a chance, we haven't really had a chance to like really dive in and get stuff. Like we've been in the studio together, but we never really had a chance to really like settle in and dive in. And of course, I can't wait to do something with Breezy. You know what I'm saying? I need that. I need that Chris Brown money record. I need that. You know.
That's like the cheat code right there.
Oh man, the ultimate cheat code. You know what I'm saying? Love it though. But he's incredible, man. Come on, man. Like he's incredible.
I've heard he's like a great artist to work with too. Like even the people that like don't know him, they say when you meet Chris, like he's just a great guy and like it's very easy.
Yeah. When I got the record when I got Heaven on Earth for Wale, I had Days Reference, and I literally almost missed my flight trying to get it, but he stuck to his word. He's like, "Yo, I just want to hear it," and killed it. Like we 4:30, 5:30, and he's going hard. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, you know what I'm saying. Me and Chris got to tap in, like for real.
That'd be fucking crazy for sure.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Be incredible.
So I know, obviously you've been around for a while and everything. You've met a lot of great people. What do you think is the best piece of career advice you've been given as far as doing music as a career and kind of like maintaining?
Best music advice I was given. Always show up, and that means that in every aspect of the word. Like when you're in the room, make sure you're present. Make sure that you're, you know what I'm saying, you're available to the song changing. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to stand everything with the artists and producers of marriage, you know? So it's like, you know, you got to kind of let your ego be at the door when you're creating. We all got to be on the same level playing field to really get that raw emotion that's going to connect with the world, I feel. You know? Everything, go with your gut, especially when it comes to creation. You know? I think, you know, all the records we love, whether they were written or whatever, at some point someone loved it. So someone, you know what I'm saying? So for it to go somewhere and come out, you know what I'm saying, it's going to touch someone, you know? That's probably the best advice that I've gotten.
It's kind of interesting you mentioned the like showing up thing, because I remember I was listening to Bink's podcast. He has a podcast now where he interviews like producers and people, and he was interviewing S1, and S1 was talking about how one night he got a call from Corday, and he was like, come to the studio, and it was like he was already like ready to go to bed, and he's like, fuck it, I'll just go. So he went, and they ended up making like a song that made his album that night, like out of nowhere. And it was just because he was like, okay, I'll come to the studio. I don't know what we're doing, but we'll see what happens. And then that came out of it. So it's like you never really know.
That's how it happens.
Yeah, like
Yeah, you never know, man. That's how it happens, man. I've had days like where I go to two or three sessions. You know what I'm saying? Just because stuff that I have to do, need to do, and want to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things like you gotta just show up, man. Like that's a big part of it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you have the access to get into the rooms. Why not? Because there's someone that's fighting for the access that you have.
So as far as being a DJ goes, let's switch to that for a second again.
Yeah.
Like we said, you probably haven't done as many live shows as you wanted. You kind of probably missed a lot of opportunities, unfortunately. But is there any other way you're trying to, I don't know, reach fans to do that? Like, are you doing live shows online, or how you been doing with that?
To be honest, man, I kind of stepped back on that side a little bit because I've been going so hard with it. I wanted to kind of like revamp how I wanted to do stuff. And really got in my like just creative like creation bag. I am gonna have more content out there like soon. Just when it comes to dropping records and stuff like that. So I'm definitely gonna be back on radio soon, for real. And we just going, you know what I'm saying? I just want to go from there. I think that the thing is too, like, it's hard to get that same feel of that live crowd, you know what I'm saying? For someone like myself, and I love that energy so much, As much as I love, you know what I'm saying, as much as I love spinning, the shows is so incredible, like to feel that, I'm definitely still like DJing. I just don't like live streaming stuff as much, but I'm definitely going to do some more of that. I think that it's a great time though for DJs. Like, folks, it's more eyes on us. Like, DJs are really in a place where they can be seen and talked to and heard in HD. And the thing is, you don't have to worry about like certain aspects of like nightlife or certain things. Like, you can turn your request box off if you want to and just play whatever you want. Like, that's a big thing, and I think that's one of the things I want to utilize it for. I want to utilize it for that. I have other ways though. I definitely want to touch the people, but next year we know it's going to be better than this year, and I wanted to kind of wait till like after a little bit more of the dust settles, Yeah. Right now we in the boot camp though. It's fun in the boot camp. I'm not gonna lie.
It's funny because the only other DJ I've interviewed so far is Dom Beats, who was Casey Veggie's DJ. He said kind of the same thing. He was like, I enjoy the live streaming and all that, and like Twitch and all this stuff, IG Live, but the live aspect is like what it's all about, because you get to see how they're reacting to what you're playing. You know what I mean? And then you can kind of adjust things as you're going, or feed off of that. But like, I think what you said too is like you do get more freedom as far as like if you're online and you can do the live shows and stuff like that, because you can kind of put in whatever you want to put in. But I don't know, you just take the good with the bad for now. But like you said, I think it is going to get better next year. Like, things are already starting to open up a little bit, so hopefully we keep moving in that direction. But
right. I'm gonna be real though too. I'm telling folks this, and I've been saying this for a while. Like, I've been saying this for like since the first time they like stopped the shows. We're not gonna be back to like how folks know it. I feel, you know what I'm saying, Coachella, all the stuff we know. To like this time, like November, December, like 22. I feel like we're gonna have like small intimate shows, some next year, some in pockets, of course the outside stuff, but like spaced. You know what I'm saying? I think some of the areas that have more corporate settings will have like the different little boxes that they can just have to separate all the folks. But I don't think we're gonna like get back to like where we just throwing a block party again and folks just pulling up. So like, real talk, like into 2022, 23, like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, even with everything going down, and even if there's no corona cases and all that, it's still going to be a mental thing for people. You know what I'm saying? Even now, you can tell how folks are reacting or not reacting. I would say, to getting back to interacting with people in person. You know what I'm saying? We've been in so many Zooms and FaceTimes like this and stuff like that. It's different when you have a chance to really interact with a person face to face.
It's almost like what big promoter is going to take the risk first to see how it goes down.
It's definitely going to be a risk.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely going to be a risk. And don't get it twisted. Location is going to matter for sure. But it's definitely going to be a risk because even now, as much as folks say like Atlanta is open and stuff like that, they can't throw no concert without it being in cars or anything like that. Like capacity still got to be to a point. Because folks don't know. Folks don't know. So
yeah, I'm with you there though. I think it's going to be eased into over the next few years. I don't think it's just going to abruptly happen like everyone thought it was going to. Because I think like even people are kind of impatient with how things are going, but I understand too that it's going to take a lot of time. So I think people gotta just accept that that's kind of the case here with this. But I
tell you what though, but when it happens though, it's going to be crazy. Like when it opens back up.
It's gotta be because people have been waiting for so long. They're gonna fucking go nuts.
Because you gotta remember, there's tours that have been canceled. There's been all types of stuff that people have to live do. You know what I'm saying? Live Nation going to want that bread back. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of stuff to recoup. And the longer it goes, the longer it settles. And Europe is gonna get flooded as well. Watch the tide. I'm telling people, musically, the tide is going to change a little bit again. Because you got to remember, all the musicians are about to have to go to Europe to do shows. So it's going to be a lot of musicians that's going out there for the first time, seeing reactions to songs that wouldn't necessarily be hot in the States.
It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out for sure. But I guess
definitely going to be interesting.
So let's switch over to the business side of things for a little bit. What has been something maybe that you tell someone else coming up that you should know about the music business side that is very important, that if you don't know it, you might, end up in a bad situation?
I tell all people that want to go into business, man, 3 letters that'll save your life is LLC. Just make sure you got that alone. You being able to do stuff through that just shows already raises your value immediately. I think that is a big part of not getting, in sticky situations. Also, already having a lawyer, what I'm saying, y'all relationship is where you trust them, no conflict of interest, what I'm saying, with the lawyers and stuff like that. But I think outside of that, always make sure there's a clear understanding of the records, of like how much each person is getting of the record. Make sure that there's an understanding, because what happens is folks say one thing when they're with you and then tell their lawyer or their manager or something else. You know what I'm saying? So make sure it's clear. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not a thing of doubt. Make sure it's clear, where it's like, oh, I thought we said, nah, it's clear. We talked about this. It's boom, or we text about this, or we emailed about this. Here it is. And I think that like stops a lot of problems as well.
I think like the contracts too help with that part of it, because like I feel like just going off word of mouth all the time can get people in like a different situation, because I know, like you just said, someone will say one thing, and then even if more people get involved with the song, like you have to figure out a bunch more things.
For sure. The thing is, though, and I tell folks this, the thing is, though, a lot of times contracts and lawyers, unfortunately, sometimes can mess up relationships, because the people are trying to get the most out of each party, So that's why I say a lot of times just for a relationship factor, because this business is mainly relationship based. You know what I'm saying? Just have that clear. So if it happens, it's nothing but a phone call to the other party. Like, yo, my lawyer did this, but I know what we agreed on, boss. You know what I'm saying? That you have no idea how much more work you would get doing business like that.
And it's good too to know like who you're dealing with as a person before you do business with them anyway. So
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you should always know that to start, I guess. Anyway.
100%.
So only got a few more questions for you here, and then we'll wrap it up. So if you could go back 10 years ago, maybe give yourself advice, anything like that, what do you think you'd do?
Take more videos of yourself, because no one's gonna believe what you did. And that also was double-handed, because it's like the only thing that I don't regret anything of my journey at all. The only thing I do is wish that I told more folks about it along the way. You know what I'm saying? I heard a saying like, you know, you can't see the sky when you in the cloud, you know? And I think sometimes, well, for me, you know what I'm saying? You know, everybody's brand of success is different. Me knowing my level of what I want to do and accomplish, you know, certain things that will be incredible to some folks is just a stepping stone for me. You know what I'm saying? And that's no disrespect at all. Like, you know what I'm saying, to no one. Like, it's one of the things where everybody wants certain different things, you know what I'm saying? And I think, it's just added. I think that's the thing that I would just tell myself, to like, yo, film some of this shit. Nobody's gonna believe you. Nobody's gonna believe you. You know what I'm saying? Especially in this day and age, like, man, like, don't get twisted. I have some stuff, but like, it's just so many spots that so many things, like Barack Obama's second term with like Jay-Z and Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? Gilbert Arenas' birthday parties. All types of stuff. BET party, like, all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And to be a part of that, you know what I'm saying? Those moments, like, you know, and just, you know, I would have a lot of that. Just to even look back on it a little bit. That's probably the only thing I would like tell myself. That and buy your own studio when you get your first check. Buy your own studio when you get your first check. That's it.
Nice. So 10 years from now, where do you think you're trying to be?
Hopefully, you know, Alex Vaughn will have 10 Grammys. You know what I'm saying? And all types of other great things. Also, I mean, a DJ school will be incredible. I think that's going to be there. And I'm probably going to be, like, you know, like president of Def Jam or something. I don't know. We'll see.
So, do you have any projects you're working on, like an album or anything coming up that anyone should look out for? Or?
Yeah, I'm actually going to drop a record, man, with Wale called Lions, Bengals, and Bears soon. Like, it's probably might be out by the time this drops. Alex Vaughn, like I said, Alex Vaughn, her new music next year. Ade, his new music next year. Wale dropping next year as well. Got some new stuff from Trevor Jackson, Eric Bellinger. Yeah, I got some good records coming, man. We gonna have a good 2021. You know.
Ade's EP dropped this year. I love that, so I'm looking forward to what he does next for sure.
Man, I'm telling you, the next one, man, I really feel like him coming off the BET Cypher. We really, everyone, I feel like we get better as a collective as we create. You know what I'm saying? Me, A&R, and his projects have been like, and seeing him grow as an artist from when we first started rocking, when I was first just DJing for him, you know, it just says a lot about him as an artist and as a person, you know. And he's a great talent, man. Like, he's a great talent, and he's another one I can't wait. You know, and I think think this is gonna be the project that's gonna solidify his place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that for sure. So
it's gonna be good.
Nice. So I know you're on Instagram, but where else are you on social media that people can find you?
Yeah, man. At No DJ No Party, DJ Money on Instagram as well, Facebook, Twitter, all that, man. Same thing. You know what it is. Mm-hmm. Oh my God again.
And any final words of wisdom?
Man, final words of wisdom, man. Stay laser focused. Stay laser focused. No matter what's going on in front of you, it's just a speed bump, curb, or a roadblock. You can get over all of them.
Well, sir, I appreciate it. Again, that's all I have for you today, man. Like I said, sorry to keep you waiting a few months, but
nah, bro. It's all good. It's all good, man. So we're gonna get it done.
Yes, man. And this made my Friday night better, so I'm happy to make it happen and everything. So.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You showed me love a lot, so man, I appreciate it. I got we got to show the love back, man.
Yes, man. And I'm looking forward to all the new music you got coming out. Hopefully, you get more live shows coming up in the next few years, like we talked about, and hopefully we can do this again sometime, maybe in person. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, man, we got to figure it out next time, man, to do something actually in person. That'll be great. That actually will be fire.
Thank you guys once again for listening. That was episode 27. We'll be back this time next week. As always, hit that support button on your podcast streaming platform if you want to support, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.